What's up everybody, and welcome back to another action figure review. Today, we're checking out the McFarlane Toys Batman Gold Label, yes, the Bat Santa from the DC Multiverse. Now, when I saw that McFarlane Toys was releasing this figure, I was super thrilled because I love superheroes that are thematic like this, especially when it comes down to Christmas. I love being able to pull out all of my holiday-themed action figures and display them for several weeks, several months. It's very, very cool, and this guy will definitely fit right in there with a bunch of my old McFarlane Toys figures that have Christmas theme to them. Batman is also one of my favorite superheroes. The fact that he's dressed up like Santa Claus, all the better. First off, I loved the jacket when I first saw the jacket. You got the little bag full of gifts and everything in there, which is nice. Now, this is a gold label, and you see the gold label emblem top left corner here, right there. Look at that nice shine of the gold label. I love the clamshell packaging. I'm a big fan of the clamshell. My hands aren't because they'll probably get cut up once or twice during this review while taking them out of here. I love that you can see the figure in all of its wonderful glory here. It's very, very cool. Let's flip to the back, and we have an awesome picture of Batman riding his sleigh, being led by a bunch of bats. Now, there is no Rudolph here. Actually, yes, there is a little Rudolph in the bottom right corner. All these bats here have white eyes. This bat right here has red eyes. How cool is that? Big fan of that, and I can't wait to display it because this figure, as we'll see when we bust him out of here, comes with a little display stand at the bottom there, and this backing is what you slip in that display stand as a nice little backdrop. I love the way this figure looks, and I can't wait to take him out and play around and mess around with him. So with that being said, let's bust this guy out of here and check him out. And here he is, our Bat Santa on display. I'm a big fan of just how it all looks like and how it all ties in together with that backdrop, with the accessory of the gifts in the bag. Of course, when I have him on my shelf, I'm not gonna have that backdrop in there, but it does look pretty darn cool. If anything, I would rather have that framed and hanging on a wall. For this review, let's actually get rid of it. Actually, you know what? Before we get rid of it, let's pull it out again here. And unfortunately, you can see the base here, and you can see that the poster goes in the base. And the worst part is that it covers up the Rudolph bat. Look at this, the bat right in the corner, the one with the red eyes. It just gets cut off when you slip them in there. That's my only gripe with this. It's a nice card stock as well. It's nice thick cardboard. It's not gonna bend easy on you. Very, very cool. But for now, let's get rid of this and check out the action figure by himself. Now with the backdrop out of the way, we can focus on the figure itself. And I must say right off the bat, when I took him out of the packaging, I ran into a slight little problem. Of course, when you take a toy out of the packaging, you play with it. And the second I moved this jacket here, did you see that? You see what just happened? So I started playing around with the jacket, and I noticed that this piece just kind of broke right off. As you can see, there's a little bit of paint missing now. And now you just saw it on camera. I tried to open it a little bit more, and the utility belt just came right off. It wasn't even glued all the way around. You can just see that there's a tiny bit of dried wet glue here. So it wasn't glued around the waist, and the belt doesn't really reach the other side of the belt either. So that kind of goes with the first issue I have right off the bat, is there's a major gap in between the belt and his crotch piece right here, his waist, and it just kind of makes it look a little off. This is my favorite part of the entire toy, is the jacket, and it's a shame that the belt just broke off and doesn't work well with it. But you know, now that that's happened, we can take a look at underneath the jacket and see what we have going under here. So cool Batman armor, as you'd expect. Hyper detail. You can see the detail in the fabric itself. Like, I don't know what kind of material this would be, but you can tell that there's some kind of stitching in there. Same goes with the leather utility belt. You can definitely see some kind of leather details in there as well. And the paint job, it's pretty basic. There's, no more than 4 colors, black, red, white, and gold on here. I do wish there was a little bit more, and a little wash and dry brush can go a very long way, especially with all these details. Like, look at that body armor there. The jacket itself, it would pop just with a little bit of wash in there. The gold shoulder pads as well. the best part I think about this figure is the head sculpt. It looks very, very good. The beard is ridiculous on him. It looks so bizarre on Batman. I'm a big fan of it. It's so goofy. Can't get enough. I do like the bat ear over here, how it sticks up above the white part of the hat. Now, of course, you have the white gloves for Santa, which is really nice. Now, he does have the pistol grip over here, the pistol fingers, so if only he came with some kind of Santa grappling gun that he can climb down chimneys easier, or, you know, whatever. It just looks kind of weird that he has the trigger fingers. He just has this accessory, so let's just actually pull this out right away, and it's a piece of plastic. You can chuck this, and it will go through a window. I swear, it feels like a solid piece of plastic. The detail on it is very nice as well. Again, the same kind of fabric material look as his jacket. You can see all the stitching in here, and all the sculpt of the presents looks pretty good. I do wish there was more color on these gifts. Gold wrapping, I've seen it before, but not like this. This is all gold. It looks very, very bizarre, but it's okay. I get the point. It's a minor detail, honestly, but I love this detail in the sculpt itself. It looks like there's an actual gift in there, but I kind of want to just pull these gifts out and see what's in there. I know it's not going to be anything, but I just love these little details and the wrinkles in the bag itself. Very, very nice. And this piece will go very, very well with all of your action figures that are Christmas related. I can't imagine this not fitting in anywhere. He can't even hold on to it, which is a big shame. If there was a way for him to just grasp onto it, it'd be cool, but he can't. So it just kind of sits right next to him, and it looks kind of cute. I think overall, though, he looks pretty darn good. The details on him are there. Love the boots. The boots look phenomenal, very armored. Again, a little bit of silver dry brushing down there would go a long way. And of course, I just realized I still have the base on. This figure comes with the standard DC Multiverse base that all of the McFarlane Toys figures does come with. I love these bases. Keep them. They're like gold to me. I love them to death. And I use them for not just McFarlane figures. They do work with other action figures. I basically have all of my NECA Ninja Turtles on here, especially the movie ones. They love these bases. You need bases for your figures to stand on. These are phenomenal. You can paint on them. You can customize them, put whatever gravel on there you want. You can do a lot with these bases for any of your action figures. But honestly, overall, he is a pretty cool toy nonetheless. He looks very, very nice and rough. I love him. He's cool. Let's go over the articulation. It's been a while since I've shot a video, everybody. I'm a little rusty at this, but let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Of course, he does have that movement in his thigh over here. You can move it to the side, up and down. If the belt was secured, you wouldn't be able to move his leg that far at all. The belt would probably break right off immediately. That's basically how I did it. Back to the articulation, he does have that movement in his legs, of course, and he does have a nice bend in the knee, or a double jointed knee, but you could basically only bend it that far. It's okay, it works, it's fine. And he does have an ankle rocker and the toe bend that I hate, but I do like it on this figure. It's black and it's hidden very well behind the armor of the boot. He does have the lower waist swivel here. He has the upper waist swivel underneath his pecs there. His arms do go out all the way up. These shoulder pads, they are quite soft and malleable, so you can lift his shoulders all the way up. Look at that. Santa's been lifting. He's got to actually, if he's got to carry this hunk of plastic bag full of gifts, he's got to be working out. Look at that. Ugh. Like that. He does have the bicep swivel, so you can spin it all the way around. He does have a nice double jointed elbow. I've already worked in all of this articulation earlier, so it's nice and loose for me now, but nice double jointed elbow, and he does have the wrist rocker as well. It doesn't really work that nice just because of this cuff link. This cuff over here, this big white cuff, kind of blocks all of his movement, but you can rotate it and spin it, and you can move it up and down, in and out, just ever so slightly. Last but not least, his head, probably the least amount of articulation, but I'm not too beat up about it. It's a pretty badass looking head with the beard, so you can't obviously rotate it all the way around because his jacket gets in the way, but you can move it up and down. Not so much up because now his hat's getting in the way of the jacket. The jacket just impedes a lot of his movement when it comes down to his head and his legs. Amazing head sculpt, nonetheless. I'd rather take the head sculpt over the articulation any day, but that's the articulation on this Batman. There's a couple things I wish we did have articulation-wise, and that is a swivel right here at the boot. It looks like a perfect cut to actually put a swivel in there, and I hope one day we'll get the shin swivel in our McFarlane figures. It'd be really nice to have that extra articulation. Not the biggest fan of the swivel and the thigh cut, but down here in the boot where you can hide it very well, I'm all for that kind of articulation. Does he stand up naturally on his own? It's, you know what, it is a pretty hefty, heavy figure, so he doesn't really have a problem standing up. He's weighted down because of that jacket. I didn't actually mention the gauntlets, the spike gauntlets. It's Batman-y. Again, a little dry brush goes a long way when it comes down to these little details here, but they do look pretty nifty. They're also soft plastic, so they're malleable. They're not going to hurt you whatsoever. I'm glad that we're starting to use a lot more softer plastics on the figures here. The hard plastic really hurts sometimes, and I'm a big fan of this softer plastic. Now, the belt being attached to the jacket does make his posability limited, but look, you get rid of the jacket and you can really pose him out in any way you really want. He does pose really well. Come on, that is so awesome. I can't wait to just get him in some cool Christmas poses. What the hell am I saying? You can definitely take the jacket off. You'll just have to pop the arms off first, but he might look very cool even without the jacket, not gonna lie. And just, you can put the belt on there and then put the jacket back on. That's something I might do, and then use like one of those stretchy bands, those fabric-y bands, and put that around the jacket instead. Maybe make it a red one or a white one, maybe a black one. That is my review for the McFarlane Toys Bat Santa. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you don't mind, please give this video a like and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this review. Let me know what you think about this action figure. Do you have it? Are you going to get it? And if so, let me know what you think about it. I'll be posting more photos of this Bat Santa on my Instagram, which you can find at Claudio's Collection, so follow me there for more content. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and you can catch me in the next one. Alright, so future me here. I decided to give this guy a little bit of a repair job. I super glued his belt nice and tight, wrapped it with a bunch of elastics for tension, and it looks pretty good. It's on there. So the belt is, from what it looks like, fixed. It looks a little bit better. And then I also found some extra accessories in my accessory bins. I think I'm gonna display him with these accessories. And there is Batman from McFarlane Toys. Sorry, Santa, Bat Santa from McFarlane Toys.